Hi, I'm Kelly, a registered respiratory therapist with BluZone Health. Do you feel breathless much of the time? Are you unsure of how to manage your breathlessness? Is it keeping you from doing all the things that you would like to do? I'm here to help you learn to work with your healthcare team to come up with a plan that will work for you. There are lots of tools, tips, and tricks and breathing exercises that you can do now that will help you breathe easier and more effectively. I look forward to joining you on this journey and empowering you to breathe better.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cozy Lung Lounge. Today we're going to be talking all about food. So eating and cooking with COPD or a chronic lung disease, kind of talking about going grocery shopping and how to cook and kind of what to eat, just really briefly. So I'm here with Gina and Kelly, and we're excited for this episode.
Hi, everyone. Now, I want you not to be scared about some of the things. Kelly talks a lot about healthy foods, and they are okay, little by little baby steps. So you may not be able to get all the way to healthy food in one meal, but months and weeks and years of preparation will really go a long way. So I'm really excited for this conversation.
I am too. I think it's I think people feel like they have a choice of one or the other. I can either eat healthy or I can eat convenient. And there is a blend. There is a place where the two merge. So we're going to talk about that today.
Cooking and eating healthy can sometimes be intimidating, especially because sometimes cooking takes a long time. And sometimes it can be really expensive, it feels like, to eat healthy, but that doesn't have to be the case. And as somebody who is constantly busy and then also trying to eat healthy while staying on a good budget, there's a fine balance. We kind of give and take some things to have a well-rounded diet and to eat healthier foods. But first I want to get into grocery shopping and buying groceries. So before the cooking and the eating even begin, when you're thinking about going grocery shopping, what are some alternatives if you maybe get really short of breath going around the grocery store, or you feel like it just takes up too much of your energy?
You've got the best thing at the grocery store. It's called a grocery cart. Many people with lung disease lean on the grocery cart, and that really helps with the breathlessness. You've got a place for your purse or your oxygen tank, and you can kind of just take it nice and slow and easy. It's also cool around the grocery store. So that's one tip I have for the grocery store.
What if it's a really hot day or a really rainy day? So there are services that will help you. So there's Uber Eats, there's DoorDash, there's all kinds of things. There's curbside pickup. Most grocery stores have this now, and I kind of like the curbside pickup. And the delivery will cost you a little bit more, but curbside pickup, a lot of stores, if you order more than $35, will do that for you for free. So let them run around the store and find what you want. And do you have the luxury of sitting online and saying, I'll have one of these and one of those and one of these? One tip to get you through is type the word fresh before you put in everything else. So fresh carrots, fresh fruit, fresh, whatever it is that you're looking for, and also organic. So you can say fresh organic apples or fresh organic, whatever you're looking for. And then it's right there in front of you, all the things that are available at that store. Somebody else plucks them off the shelf for you, packages it, and you just drive in, call the number, and they load it in the back of your car. Here's $5. Thank you. Got to go.
I did that myself on Sunday. I just didn't feel like getting out to the grocery store in the morning, and I knew the kids were going to want some milk when they got up. So I went ahead and put an order in, and I went ahead and did an express delivery. It was here in 45 minutes. That cost an extra $10. But I know myself, if I would have gone to the store, I would have spent more than an extra $10 and a whole hour of my time. And then if I'm also having trouble with breathlessness and more, that $10 can be well spent if you have that extra to spend.
And if that's the case, just if you're able to get there, do the curbside pickup. And so a lot of the main grocery stores do it, but I found out, depending on where you are in the country, out here, Target will do that. Walmart will do that. Costco will do that if you order more than $35 and you don't even have to pay anything extra for it. So let them pick up all the heavy stuff and put it in the cart. Just remember, when you go pick up, depending on where you live, take a cooler with you to put all of your refrigerables in. Out here, that's a must. It's 104 degrees today. So I've gotten in the habit of taking a cooler with me everywhere I go. And what about having someone else go for you? Is there a neighborhood kid, a kid that just got their driver's license and they're so excited they'll drive anywhere?
A few episodes back, that was one of those key tasks that you can give to your family members. They say, what can I do for you? Well, they could pick that up or grab a few things.
Let's go ahead and get into some cooking. So there are plenty of things that you can do to create a better environment when it comes to cooking. And the number one thing that, kind of going back to going to the grocery store, is fresh vegetables. If it's too much to go through and chop everything, there's definitely some alternatives, especially if you're cooking by yourself or you're cooking and taking care of others. The first thing that comes to my mind, there's a lot of canned products out there. The only problem with canned is a lot of the syrups and whatnot that the canned vegetables are in can be higher in sodium, and they can have some different things in them. So that if that is something that you want to do, definitely make sure that you rinse and drain canned fruits and vegetables really well. Personally, I actually prefer frozen. So for frozen fruits and vegetables, I prefer that since they're not sitting in any sort of liquid. What do you girls think about that?
I definitely think so. If I buy canned fruit at all, I buy it in juice. I make sure it's in juice, like pineapple chunks, for example, in juice. I keep those cans in the refrigerator. So when I want something sweet and cold, there it is. And the juice is no added sugar. And for the vegetables, you're right. They'll definitely give those a quick rinse. And then if you're going to put them in a saucepan, put them in water. There's a lot of sodium in those.
I'm one that likes to do home cooking, so I'll probably get whole fresh vegetables and fruits and cut them up at home using a food processor. I've got some shortcuts that I like to do. There's food processors and different kinds of tools that'll do a lot of that prep work for you. Sometimes you can even buy already cut up vegetables in the produce aisle anyway, so it's already done for you.
Absolutely. I've actually seen those a lot more recently in some grocery stores in the produce section when you go through. And a lot of times they're put on skewers already to make kabobs. So you can buy pre-cut vegetable kabobs at the grocery store sometimes. So if you really hate chopping, but you really want those fresh veggies, that's another thing to look out for in the produce.
If you're like me and your vegetables kind of die in that produce bin anyway, the extra little bit that you're going to spend for a ready to eat product is going to save money in the long run.
And save you a lot of time also. And there's pre-cut carrots, there's pre-diced butternut squash in the freezer section that you can just toss in your air fryer, or you can boil it if you want to. I would be careful and stay away from things that are coated in canola oil. I know my daughter used to really like those sweet potato fries, but they're pre-done. You just heat them up, but they're coated in canola oil. And there's a lot of frozen veggies that are out there. If you have to look carefully, some of them, very tiny letters at the bottom, will say lightly sauced. And that sauce is all buttery flavored, fake butter flavored canola oil. So you don't want that. You just want real veggies. And if you want to put real butter on them, that's great.
And what do you guys think about those pre-pattied meats? So sometimes there's pre-pattied burger patties that you can get at the grocery store. They also have some different frozen meats, some different already cooked chicken patties, whether that's with breading on it or just grilled chicken. What do you think about those?
I think, again, you just have to look and make sure they're not drowning in canola oil. The chicken patties that are breaded have some stuff in it. If it's 100% beef that's already preformed into patties, that's fine. Just make sure they didn't stuff it with textured vegetable protein or anything funny like that. I don't know if Trader Joe's is all across the country, but Trader Joe's has a frozen product called Just Chicken. And it's chicken strips with nothing on it, a little salt and pepper. That's it. And so you can pull out just as much as you need, make chicken salad, make chicken tacos. You could throw it in soup. You could do whatever you want to, but it has minimal ingredients. And I think that's the best point.
Those are all excellent sources of protein. I had a veggie patty the other day, and that's not something I used to do. I'm a hamburger person all the way, but it was very good. I it was an already done patty that cooked on the grill next to the preformed beef patties for the rest of the family. And so everybody had a really good choices of protein. And all of those are very easy to prepare on a stovetop or under a broiler, air fryer, whatever you might have.
Well, if you're also looking for some other shortcuts, maybe you aren't really sure what you like to eat, you haven't experimented with a lot of recipes, another good idea is some places like, I don't know if there's any others out there, but Publix and Fresh Market both have these kind of pre-planned meals for the week. So you can get a little recipe card and you can get your meats and your vegetables and whatever sauces may be with it. You can get the whole thing and you just kind of go through and I think select what kind of meat. They give you like 2 options. And that's a way to have a meal that is somewhat prepped for you. It's already portioned. And then basically you just have to go in, put it all together and cook it real quick and then it's done. So if you need something a little bit more interesting where you're still cooking, but it's not too much work, that could be an easy way to get something different and kind of fun in your diet.
You know, one of the things we haven't talked about is what about if you have just no appetite and you're just trying to eat to get some calories in you just to have some energy, but you really don't have the appetite to sit down and eat a big meal. And I found that for those patients, they tend to just snack on carbohydrates all day. So what are some things that, if you have no appetite, what would you guys recommend for somebody who just can only eat, you know, one hard-boiled egg at a time, and then an hour later will look for something else, and an hour later is looking for something else?
So I have a few things. So the first thing that comes to my mind is maybe doing a protein shake. If you've got a protein powder or a pre-mixed protein shake that you really like that has good ingredients, that could be a good option just to have something to sip on. And another thing that I've started doing that, because I'm a nighttime snacker, it'll be like 10 p.m. and I'm like, I want an entire bag of salt and vinegar chips, which is terrible. What I've started doing is making these little protein balls, and I use natural peanut butter with raw honey and then oats. And then I just mix in a little bit of protein powder and a few little dark chocolate chips. And it makes these tasty little protein balls. And I use vanilla protein, so they kind of taste like cookies or cookie dough. And it's the best little thing just to give myself protein that has pretty good ingredients in it that will fill me up. So if you're struggling to eat, you know, they're only this big, you have 1 or 2, it gives you protein, it gives you a little bit of sugar to bring your blood sugar up. And that could be a good option.
Hi, friends. This episode of the Cozy Lung Lounge is brought to you by Hootenanny Joy, where your health and wellness take center stage. At Hootenanny Joy, we know how overwhelming it can be to stay on top of your health, especially when life gets busy or chronic illness adds challenges. That's why we've created self-study programs designed to meet you right where you are. These programs are simple, flexible, and packed with tools to help you thrive. And they come with something extra, access to a live health coach. That's me, to guide you every step of the way. Whether it's improving your sleep, learning to nourish your body, or managing stress, our programs combine proven science with practical, real-life strategies. You can work at your own pace, get the answers you need during coaching sessions, and feel confident you're making progress. Ready to take that first step? Visit hootenannyjoy.com to explore the programs and choose the one that fits your journey best. Hootenanny Joy, because your health deserves a little joy. If you are tired of eggs, you could do things like deviled eggs or egg salad. That gives a little bit of extra fat from the mayonnaise, but still gives you a lot of the protein. When you're having trouble breathing, don't shy away from healthy fats. Those are good for you. Avocado oil, olive oil. Those are good for you. So don't shy away from those kinds of things. It's those sugary carbs that we want to stay away from. They really put an extra load on your cardiac system. You're trying to exhale that carbon dioxide. Well, all of the soda that you have has carbon dioxide in it. So those kinds of things your body has to process.
Another good source of protein is Greek yogurt, strained Greek yogurt. And if you get full fat but plain, you can add maybe a teaspoon of your favorite flavor of jelly or jam, or you can add a teaspoon of honey or just some fresh fruit in there. But Greek yogurt has more protein in it than any of the others. And there's some good brands out there that don't have a lot of filler and gelatin and things like that in it. And just adding it to your taste will get some protein and some fat in you.
Sometimes that unsweetened Greek yogurt takes a few minutes to get used to. So really start weaning yourself off of those sugary ones that you have, and moving towards less sugar brands are really nice. There are a couple of intermediate brands that have a much lower sugar, but are still relatively low in the carbohydrates and high in protein. I like the fact to put some jelly in there that really can change up the flavor profile of it.
It definitely does. And it's if you use just a tiny little bit, it's got just enough sugar in it to take the edge off of that Greek yogurt and give it some flavor without overdoing it on the carbs.
We are in summertime, and one of the things that we want to do is have a colorful diet. So by the end of the summer, we're going to have a lot of vegetables out at the farmer's market. But one thing I like to do is have frozen blueberries in the freezer. You can get a big bag of frozen blueberries for $7 in my area. And a handful of those, those are almost like popsicles when they're frozen, to eat them like that. A lot of anti-inflammatory effects. That really deep purple color is very good for a lot of your body processes. They talk about mitochondria and those sorts of things. They look for all of those phytonutrients that are in the brightly colored skins of those blueberries.
We do the same thing with grapes, big Concord grapes and red seedless grapes. Just wash them and throw them in the freezer. And you can grab a handful of those. It'll take you longer to eat than it will regular fruit because it's frozen, but it's a nice cool treat, and it's low in sugar, and it's natural and good for you.
What are some dip ideas for, I know you can get carrots and celery and all of that, but what can I jazz it up with to make it taste a little bit better, but also give me some protein?
Ooh, hummus. You can get all flavors of hummus, or you can make your own. It's easy.
What is hummus?
Hummus is ground up chickpeas, ground up garbanzo beans, they're called. And I just whirl them in my food processor with a little lemon juice, olive oil, salt and pepper, a little garlic. And then I like to buy canned artichoke hearts in water and throw artichoke hearts in there. That makes it taste very fancy, and it's good for you.
And another really good thing that you can do, especially with like carrots and celery, is you can use plain Greek yogurt and then just add in some different seasonings. So add in something that would be similar to a ranch seasoning, maybe a little bit less salt added to that. But that would be a great way. Instead of just eating ranch, you can make it kind of a ranch style dip with Greek yogurt. And that could be another really good option to give you a little bit of protein and to have a healthier dipping sauce with those veggies.
Greek tzatziki is also very easy to make. It's just Greek yogurt, lemon juice, a little garlic, and you can put in dill weed, and you can chop up cucumbers in there if you want to. Very tasty with cut up vegetables.
That sounds delicious. I'll have to try that one.
The tzatziki and talking about the hummus reminds me a lot of the Mediterranean diet. And this is a diet that has been known for being very anti-inflammatory and has really good health properties. It's pretty much just saying, don't eat junk food, eat those healthy fats, that avocado oil, switch out and eat a little bit more fish and maybe a little bit less red meat. It's a really great and colorful diet. We're talking about colorful with the fruits and the vegetables, trying to just have a very colorful plate with lots of different options. So the Mediterranean diet is definitely one to look into. If you're just looking for some diet options, that one's not a fad diet. It's it's not a keto diet. It's not one of the paleo diets. It's simply just eating really good, high quality foods. So that's a good diet to look into if you have any questions.
Speaking of Mediterranean diet, it is one of the better diets because everything is so fresh and it is all the colors of the rainbow in there. But if you haven't thought about a meal kit company yet, there's meal kit companies out there that you can check the box that says Mediterranean diet or anti-inflammatory diet and let them do it for you. And I'll give you a little trick on these. A lot of times, the first time that you order from them, they will give you a certain number of meals for free, or they'll give you $100 off your first 2 weeks or something. Try them. If you like them, great. If you don't like them, then go on to the next company and do their $100 off for 2 weeks and try them. I put a link, maybe we can put it in the chat box, that rated the top 10 meal kit companies. And when it comes down to it, for all the time that you would have spent grocery shopping, getting it home, washing, chopping, preparing, and everything else, to have it delivered to your door, and all you have to do is put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, I'm in. And they do have some very healthy options out there. You can order organic. You can say no dairy for me. There's a bunch of different combinations that you can ask for.
You may have, your doctor may have recommended a diet like the Mediterranean diet. I know I've heard of the Mind diet and the DASH diet. The DASH is for dietary stopping hypertension. Both of those are based on the Mediterranean diet, which is, like Amy said, just a very solid food option. You can kind of build an optimal plate. I've learned from my dietitian that fill it with, half the plate full of vegetables, salad, all kinds of different things, a little bit of protein, and then a little bit of fats, and try to make sure that you have plenty of colors on there. Don't overthink it. You just get some vegetables, some protein, and some fat, and it will all fall into place. Do lots of different things. If you have some leftover vegetables from the other night, throw them on your salad for today. It really is surprising what things you can put in a salad to make it taste super good at lunchtime.
And also making your own salad dressing is easy. Just olive oil and lemon juice, salt and pepper. Maybe a little touch of honey if you think that'll be too sour for you, or olive oil and any kind of flavored vinegar. They're easy to make. There's no fillers and any kind of preservatives or anything in there. Much better for you.
I've had quite a hard time finding salad dressings at the store that aren't made with soybean oil and canola oil. I have found at my local Myers store, there's a couple of brands that are based on avocado oil and olive oil. So I really enjoy having some of those. I just don't have the time to make my own salad dressing, even though it's easy. It's kind of nice to have a bottle of dressing ready to go in the break room at work. But I still want it to be based on those healthy oils instead of oils that will cause my body to be more inflamed.
The biggest thing that we're trying to get across is that eating healthy and cooking for yourself at home doesn't have to be a daunting task. I think a lot of times people can sometimes get overwhelmed, or they say, I can't do that, or I can't make lifestyle changes that quickly, or go all organic, but you don't have to. You can definitely take it one step at a time. So I think that's just kind of what we're trying to bring here today. And when we're talking about slowly moving in the right direction, if you think about something like maybe you're eating salt and vinegar chips, like I mentioned earlier, maybe change it out for something like a popcorn that doesn't have all of the tons of added sodium. It's not running a lot of oil. Sometimes you can find them without the butter as well. So there are some healthier alternatives that you can slowly make a positive change. You don't have to go from eating, all of your favorite processed foods to just eating meat and vegetables. That's not what we're saying. So there's good alternatives. Maybe if you love to have milkshakes, if you have milkshakes 3 or 4 times a week, maybe start to change out some of your milkshakes with things like smoothies, homemade smoothies, or smoothies from a smoothie shop. Those are really good options. Or maybe if you like ice cream, you could do a fruit parfait or something like that. So there's a lot of really small changes that you can make with some of your favorite foods, some different alternatives that you can do that should make a big impact.
I agree, Amy. I've spent most of my life doing things like Weight Watchers and other kinds of quick diets and learning along the ways. There was even a diet in the 90s that was low fat, which was very easy to stick to, but it didn't cause anybody to lose weight because we were eating a lot of empty carbs. But I've had to work with a dietitian. It's been at least, 2 years working towards getting somewhat healthy. And so it just takes little by little.
Well, I think we've about covered it for trying to make eating healthy easy for everybody.
Eating is something we all have to do. So we want to have it a little bit less stress-free and a little bit more tools for you.
This is a process to do day by day. Slowly make those small and intentional changes, and I think you'll start to see a good improvement.
I am eating healthier nowadays to prevent my own chronic illness. Watching my mom go through her dementia, decline into dementia, has really woke me up to the fact that my choices today are really going to shape my next 10 years, 15 years. I don't want to be in a nursing home with dementia in 15 years. And so that's what helps me to eat those leafy greens that I might not have loved those before, but I know that that's what's proven to keep that dementia away. So really find your why, and you'll be a little bit closer to your goals.
I love that. Find your reason to make the positive changes, and that will make a lot of the difference as well. So thank you guys so much for being here, and hopefully this just gives you guys some good ideas about some different small changes and some intentional changes to do to make a big impact on your health, and find your reason why, and that'll make it all the easier.
Bye, everybody. Happy cooking.
Thanks, everybody. See you next one.
Living with a chronic respiratory condition doesn't mean giving up the things you love to do. At BluZone Health, we're here to help you breathe easier and rebuild your strength. Our online cardiopulmonary rehab program offers tailored exercises, self-management training, and expert support from certified respiratory therapists. Accessible anytime, it's designed to reduce breathlessness, improve lung function, and empower you, all while connecting you with a supportive community. Visit BluZone.health and take the first step towards stronger lungs and a healthier future. BluZone Health. Breathe better, live better.